So we're live.
Live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdy Up North podcast. It's a nerdy podcast that is hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
And I am the other host, Paul. And tonight we are joined by the sexiest man in nerdom, Nerdy Jesus himself, the beautiful Jake. Thanks here.
Thank you.
And we are joined by Lee.
You never know who he's going to say when he opens with that. It's like, oh, who's he sucking up to today?
It's never going to be you, Lee.
No, it's interesting. The man that cannot smile is smiling, so it's all like saying, don't worry, in half an hour's time he'll have the face like he's going to have the worst time of his life. Don't worry.
I mean, he is an internet sensation right now, so we all should be, kissing his ass.
The green man himself.
To be fair, I was going to be mean and put the video on, but I was like, no, I can't do that just because,
I wouldn't mind.
It was just too much.
should've.
Like, I think if anyone doesn't know, like we were talking about the podcast tonight in the chat where we organise what we do. And I jokingly suggested, I hope Lee turns up painted all green tonight for the Turtles episode. And Lee, stupidly, took my decision and decided to paint himself green today.
He had a bandana as well,
Yeah.
right?
So which turtle were you, Lee?
Raphael, obviously.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the grumpy one, aren't I?
Mr. Happy Lee.
Even though you're full of smiles today.
Yes. So yes,
The company.
It's the company. He's kissing our asses already. The Bobo Lee. But yeah, the man with so many names that he forgets what he's called most of the time. Yes. So how are you, nerds? I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Sammy's barely
down with
alive.
the sickness.
Oh. Yeah, if the voice changes, I apologize.
It's just she's been possessed by Pazuzu. It's fine. It's a normal thing that we used to.
Ooze.
And ooze, yes. We're all
And
down with the
ooze.
ooze.
Yes, it's very fitting, actually. I have something very important to ask you. It's the first time of asking it of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to ask how you're doing because I generally don't care. No, I do. But we never actually get round to knowing. Because the most important thing is, what have you been watching this week?
Well, what he's been watching this year now.
Oh, yeah. See, that wasn't as cringy as normal, but
No?
I will try and up the cringe level for that one.
That's fine.
Yeah, what you've been watching?
Just to say that as
Oh, yeah,
well,
I'm
I forgot
interested.
this is our first episode of 2024.
Tis.
Fuck.
It is. We're starting with it. Yeah, we're starting strong.
Starting
Going all
strong.
ninja style, ninja power.
Yes, this was one of Sammy's choices as well. So
Just anything
You
with
had to see
turtles.
the sequel.
yes.
Yes, saw the first, had to see the sequel.
So,
And
so
thank
what-
you for telling us where to find it too.
it was a legal point as well. We'd watched it
It was,
legally.
yeah.
I did it the right way.
Free
Yes.
with ads.
So yes, nerds. Sammy wants to know what we've been watching. So what you been watching,
Mhm.
Lee? You dirty, filthy pervert.
Oh, why did you come to me first? I can't remember.
Mm.
All I've
So
done
you've
this
been
week
a
is
week.
nap.
You are becoming the laziest
it's
man alive. You're getting up around
me last
12,
week off work.
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock a day. We're getting good morning. And it's like, oh, it's getting about 3 o'clock. I need a fucking nap. Sort yourself out, Lee.
I know I definitely watched Turtles 2 and 3, and then I've been reading The Last Ronin, and what's the one after that where it's like set sort of in between?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You tell us. You've been reading it.
You watch.
I can't remember what the name. My brain is not
Full of
in this
pains.
week at the moment. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, bless you.
Seeped in through his skin.
Oh.
The oozes took over Lee. Yes.
You'll see us halfway through the podcast go, oh, that's what it was, but it'll be too late then.
If you shout
Somebody
it out,
say
that's fine.
Ooze.
Oh, Jake's got a few little things to go along with today, which I'm very
Necker
jealous of.
accessories, man.
Yes. As you can see, just in the background, there is a super shredder just peering over Jake's shoulder as well.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him later.
I'll say his name properly this time. I've even wrote it down because I kept calling him
Greater.
Splinter. Great.
Bit of a difference. So,
Amazing.
what have you been watching, Jake?
Oh, I see you were terrible. Watching barely anything, as in just Bones, reruns of Bones,
Oh.
and a little bit of Big Bang Theory, but I have been getting back into like picking up video games that I just left last year for
Oh.
ages and ages. So I started playing Elden Ring again,
Oh, cool.
which is that super hard open world game where everything tries to kill you. But it's been good because like obviously like I've missed everyone talking about it now. So now I'm like experiencing it on my own again, and like nothing's really. I've forgotten like all the spoilers, so I'm still like wandering into places that are totally new to me that I've never heard of, and like fighting for my life in a crappy little dungeon for like no prize. But I'm like, that was amazing. Survived.
I love
Very
that.
cool.
But yeah, I've been trying to like dig back into the Xbox because I stuck mostly like PC like last year, I would say, or Switch. But now I'm like, yes, Xbox is
Going
back
to
on the
your
menu,
console
boys.
roots.
Yeah. I think it was like partially Lee as well, like digging into Gears of War. I was just like,
Yes.
I want to be in like an Xbox headspace at the moment.
I know.
I know,
I got
totally
very jealous
understand
of Lee
that.
as well. I was like, "You filthy hobo playing Gears of War! I want to play that game," because you forget how good that game is as well. Like even the sequels and the not so good sequels still
Yeah.
are better than most
Yeah.
shooting ups.
You know what I
Gears of War-
found today as well?
Mm.
My Gears of War 3 Special Edition Xbox, where it's like all red and black with like like the Gears logo on it and stuff. I was like, hell yeah,
Oh,
this
that's
was
so
a
cool.
time.
I got really jealous when I saw Lee playing. I was like, because Gears of War 2 was like my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want to go and get the 360 out the garage. Oh, look at him.
Yes.
Look at him. Has to show it. So,
Everyone wants to play with Lee now. That's the thing. So yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've been watching trash TV as usual.
Excellent.
The Traitors have come back for season 2, and this week
Oh,
has
you're
been
getting irate again, are you?
not yet, because this year's ones, they're not as stupid as previous ones. But
Oh.
I do like the way the BBC do the shows, because it's do 3 a week, 3 episodes a week. So the first episode like introduced us to the gang, to the people. The second episode you got a banishment, you got a murder, and it was great.
Oh.
And the third episode, they've left on a cliffhanger, so it was left on a spin vote. Like, spoilers for anyone who's going to watch it. They left the last episode on a the votes were even. That's never happened before in the Traitors.
Oh.
So it's like going on. You've got to wait till Monday to find out. It's like, no, I must find out now. But yes, and I binge watched the latest Naked and Afraid. That was quite entertaining. Like seeing people like
how
going
many
out and
bee stings?
no bee stings this year, but there were. It was called
Aw.
Castaway, and I am going to lose my shit at this as well. So you'll have a bit of entertainment.
Okay.
Because normally, like, me and Jake's watched Naked and Afraid, and it's
Yeah.
quite cool, and it's not too staged, so it's done quite well. This year though, the Castaway one, they're meant to have been on an island where they've got basically nothing, like nothing to boil the water, no knives, anything, and they've literally got to find and make everything.
Yeah.
But literally, the stuff they're finding on the island, it's so staged, it's not even funny. It's like, oh, this guy called Bullock, he's a complete arsehole, but he's a pilot, and they find a wreck of a plane.
Yeah.
So he starts taking the parts out and building like things to make fires because he knows what thing. And like
Yeah.
there's iron wool there, and the iron wool is notorious to go rusty within seconds of being out in the open. It's like, oh, this has been here for ages, and like, no, it's very
Oh,
not.
yeah.
So it's like anything they need when they're walking along. It's like, oh god, we've got to walk, find something we need, and then there's like plastic bottles. Oh, these plastic bottles have washed up on shore so they can keep water in
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like, it's so obviously staged that it spoiled it a little bit. So
Yeah,
again,
'cause
Oh.
there was out wrong with letting them like take like, oh, this is my favorite knife, or like, oh, I've brought like some kind of like container or something. Like, there's not wrong with letting them have like one thing and then figuring the rest out, because we know it sucks. Like, not having any shelter to sleep in is like the worst thing for humans.
But
I don't care if they've got a knife, like when they come in.
But only did that thing that did freak me out. This on this one was because they're on a beach. The sand flies, literally
Yeah.
the bug
What's a
bites. Like
sunfly?
it's just like flies, but live on sand. But like if there's any like type of flesh, then you sleep and it bites you. So the
No.
bug bites. This poor woman, she had bug bites all over her face, all over her arse, all over. Like literally, that was like anytime she touched your skin would be bleeding, and it was just like oh. So they're not
Oh
comfortable.
no.
It's just there was certain
Oh
bits
no.
where it was overly staged to get them through.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
Oh.
think my favorite parts are when someone like goes like, "I've got an idea," and then they'll go off and do something really stupid, and then come back like some guy was like, "I'm gonna try and eat a cactus," and when he went to get it, he just got like stung to fuck, and it's like, I can't use my hands anymore.
there was this guy on called Gary, and he was called himself. He's like an ultimate scrounger type thing. He had something on his tattoo on his back about capitalism being shit, and that he was the ultimate consumer because he would consume everything. And he found a rotten, like dead carcass, and no one would eat this carcass because it was that like
Yeah,
infested. And he was
rightly
like,
so.
and he was like, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
This is food. I haven't eaten for 3 days. Like, fair enough, you would be hungry, but there was no
Yeah.
fucking way out. I'd rather eat dirt than eat this rotten carcass.
Mm.
And he's like, I'm gonna eat it. I'll be fine. 2 days later, he was getting evac out with dysentery.
Ah,
On
what a
dysentery.
mug!
Yes. But yeah, it's just stupid
What
behavior. Because the worst
a
thing is
mug.
when you're like on these trips, they always say there's two things that will get you. One, if you get constipated, because if you can't shit, literally you got bunged up and you can't do anything. Or if you get diarrhea, because with the being in the outback and no clean water and stuff like that, if you get diarrhea, you die.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
them are the two big things that takes you out and naked and afraid. You learn something new, guys, there on the Nerdy Up
That's a
North podcast.
But
Dysentery.
it's okay. The camera people will save them.
Yes. So what you been watching, Sammy?
Right. A shit ton. But
Okay.
what I want to do
Whoa.
first is I have a statement to read out to you.
Mhm.
Because it's been
Everyone
brought.
salute.
I'm going to put my glasses on for this as well, so I can read my statement. I've even signed it too.
Mhm.
Sorry. Right. This is a statement of redaction.
Oh.
So
Oh.
it's come to my attention that I recently made a very bold statement on an episode of Nerdy Up North, and I feel like I need to clear something up. 6 months ago, the gang got together and we talked about the highly hilarious Always Sunny.
Mhm.
I stupidly made a statement that this show does not have swear words in it.
Yeah, I wanted to call you
Yeah,
out on that. But
After another watch, though, after many watches, by the way, I am here to redact that statement. It's very not fucking true. This has eaten me up for some time that I could make such a statement. My husband has berated me countless amount of times, asking, do I actually pay attention when I'm watching? And I am here to apologize. I do get things wrong from time to time, but this one has really fucked me off. So I am sorry. Signed, Sammy.
bless you. You know what?
Yeah, it was really fucking bothering us. I heard myself back and I went, you are watching this right now. This is what I'm watching right now, is Always Sunny. And there is an episode where they say cunt at least 5 times in it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. And again, the viewers that watch our podcast or watch us for the first time or have watched us from day one, they will know we are not fucking experts at what we talk about. We only talk about joys and what we love about. We make so many mistakes on this podcast. And again, I love us for it. And the one thing is, well, I'll make shit up on this podcast that I don't even that's not even true. Just because I think it sounds good. And sometimes I'll go back and go, I already said that and people believed us. So who gives a fuck?
I really said this, but I heard it back. We have a brilliant new intro video that is on our YouTube channel. If anyone would like to go and watch it, it's even on there. I fucking hate that it's on there because I thought like I was something I could like hide in the background. It'll never be seen again. And now I have to promote this intro video that has the most stupid thing. I have said some stupid things. That one really, really got to us. But yeah, I just wanted to extend my apologies and redact my statement. So
No,
there,
you-
it was never said.
You can't hide anything from Joe. He will edit
I've
it
learned-
together.
I have learnt my lesson. But apart from Always Sunny, because I have been really sick this week, I have watched so much. So I've watched the new Hunger Game that came out last year.
I'm pretending I knew there was a new Hunger Games.
There was, Jake. And then I proceeded to watch the other Hunger Games after it. I bored the shit out of Anthony with them the other day because I read the books last year, so I had to tell him all the differences between the books and the movies as we were going along. We watched The Menu. That was interesting. But on Friday night, we watched A Knock at the Cabin Door with the M. Night Shyamalan film with Dave Bautista.
All right.
Holy fucking shit, that movie. Lee, how loud is your keyboard?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've tried ignoring it, Lee, but yes.
Lee, it's like you're stamping bricks into something.
Sorry.
You and Goodwill need to learn how to type quietly.
He's looking at which ooze canister's empty and which one isn't.
But it was really, really interesting. Dave Bautista is a fucking brilliant actor.
Yeah, he's the only good wrestler actor I think that we've had so far.
We were reading up about him afterwards, and he says like he went to acting school after Guardians because the one thing he didn't want was to be typecast, like the Cena and Rock. So he wanted to act, and M. Night Shyamalan saw his name come up on a call sheet and went, "That would be really fucking interesting, like to see if he can, because the character he plays, Jacob, is really sensitive, and can you make this big brute of a man be as sensitive, and especially with the topic of the film as well." It was really fucking good. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very intense.
Cool.
Loved
I
it.
like M. Night movies more often than not, I would say.
Yeah. It was just really good. And we watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last
Yeah, you
podcast,
talked about nothing on the...
Yeah, because it was just before New Year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was interesting. So yeah, I've watched a lot of shit, but I've also watched Always Sunny and had to relive what I said again
and again and again
and again and again and again. Anthony's just berated.
Just do what I do and retcon it and be like, well, what I meant was the joke, the best jokes aren't swear related, and those are the memorable ones.
It's like the more you get into the season, the more you realize, oh, they swear a lot now.
Very much so. But just to say as well, big thank you to Joe for putting together a few, like, say, little trailers or little best of little clips as well. If you haven't checked it out, it is quite funny on the front page in the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel. Not yet. Check it out after the podcast.
He's a saint. He's a saint, is Joe.
Yes. But I do like it how he just now arrowed in on anything that Sonia said, and it was kind of like picked on, and like it's hilarious when you watch it through. Like literally, Sonia is picked on all the way through that
brotherly love for you.
Or maybe she's just the funniest one out of us all, which can be quite true.
Oh no, Joe, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad for my stupid mistakes. Do not change that video. It was brilliant.
No, that's
Bless
fine.
him.
But yes,
I have remembered what I've been watching, by the way. Sorry. When you mentioned wrestler actors, I had to quickly look and see what the new John Cena film was.
With your giant keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So Freelance. So that Freelance that just came on Amazon with John Cena in.
Oh right.
Where he's like a
I saw it
ex-army guy.
advertised.
Really good film.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not going to win any awards, but it's a really fun film. And Donna made us watch. She's just named it in chat, and I've already forgot it. Leave the World Behind.
All right.
Amazing, all the way through until the end, and then it's just shit.
So don't watch it to the end, guys.
Oh,
Just
well.
keep
So
keep
just
going
turn it
for
off at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just do what Phoebe's mum tells her to do. We'll just turn the movies off all at the end. Everyone was happy.
Certainly. So before we do get started and talk about the ooze, just want to say a big thank you to the Trekking Boys last night for coming back strong for 2024. Monsters are coming back strong tomorrow, and the Ramblecast guys will be back soon as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming forward for Nerdy Up North. So Sammy, have you got a disclaimer you want to say?
I most certainly do. For the first time in 2024, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on the Facebook page, Discord, or the comment section where we can have an open discussion. What we won't have, though, is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions wrong. We can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behavior out of nerdism.
Oh, well,
I
set
think my
Donna.
voice changed about... Eh?
I was going to say, oh, well, set Donna and Chris on you if you do. Like...
Yeah, we'll get we'll
Gruesome
get you. I
twosome.
think my voice changed about 5 different times in there.
So, as we've said throughout this episode at the start, this is Sammy's pick. She got excited when we did the first Turtles
I
episode.
loved it.
So we said, well, okay, we'll do a little callback for the first episode for the year. We'll do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. So, yes.
Long title.
Yes.
Yeah, 1991. We're going back to the 90s. We're in
Good
Jake's
year.
era.
I mean, I was only 3 years old, I think, when this
I
movie
don't want to
came
be
out.
reminded of that.
I was definitely watching these on videotapes after the fact.
See, I saw this one at
I-
the cinema. Yes.
Can I give you the taglines? Because I have the
Yeah.
taglines. I love fucking taglines, right? You ready? So one of them is Cowabunga. It's a turtle movie.
My
the second
favorite.
The second one is, and I really wish I knew this before I started doing the TikTok videos, Back by Bodacious Demand.
That was my demands in that bodacious list.
Honestly, it still doesn't beat the Batman one. That's still my favorite. But they were pretty good, especially the Cowabunga. It's a Turtles movie.
Acapella.
I didn't realize it came out in 1991. Like, that's pretty quick after the first Turtles movie released. So it's like pretty quick
Yeah.
turnaround there.
Well,
Didn't 3
I
came
don't
out
wanna-
in 92 as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they've all been quite fast.
maybe they knew the suits were gonna fall apart, so they were like quick. But yeah, like I don't know if this is probably getting ahead slightly, but there wasn't that many new scenes and places in this movie, so I kind of get the feeling they just like reopened the set and were like, let's just
Come on,
keep going,
guys.
keep it rolling.
I know there was like little differences to the suits. Like, but if you look in like the facial, they had little like circles,
The-
little lesions, little marks on the front
Yeah,
and stuff.
I never
like
liked
Yeah.
that as a kid. Like I don't know why. Like because
Well,
they
I think-
made the toys that had that on, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
after the first
Ah.
run.
In the first one, they had they controlled the faces from like
It was
off
pup-
screen.
It was
but then they
puppeteers who
built
did
it.
it.
But then they built it
inside.
into the masks in the second one.
Yeah, that's why
Ah.
the mouths, you notice the mouths moving quite a lot, is because they wanted to
Yeah.
focus on all this new technology that
Yeah,
they've
I
created
did
with the
notice.
mouth.
I did notice in like the opening scene, there's a lot of like shots where it's zoomed in on the faces, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're showing off the Henson workshops.
None of that
Oh.
scary like mouth eyes.
No,
Okay.
but said the
I
first.
didn't notice it if there was.
So
I was looking.
I know when we like talked about the first one, we talked about the first time watching it. The first time I watched the first Turtles was on a copy DVD. I did actually see this one at the cinema. I don't know.
Oh,
if,
nice.
With you guys, did you see it? Like I know with Jake and Lee being
Too young.
youngsters.
Turtles 1 was my first ever movie at the cinema.
All right.
So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
assuming
you
I must have went
said.
to see this as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, so
you said
Jake,
you said you were being a bit of an arsehole while you were there too.
Yep, I was running around like a wild child.
He was painted green, shouting at everyone.
Singing
Sorry.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Cowabunga dudes. But yeah, so Jake, you saw this one on VHS for the first, like, well, if you were
Yeah.
3, I don't think you.
I had the mother of all copied videotapes that had
Ooh.
Ghostbusters 2 and Turtles 2 on a double bill. And I love that.
Amazing.
I love that copied videotape. So it must have been took off the TV at that point. Like it must have. I must have been like about 5 or 6 maybe, because it took a good while before this stuff would have been on TV, wouldn't it? To record.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd imagine.
But let's
But
talk
yeah,
about.
so
Sorry.
so like there's a lot of movies are kind of like my favorites are like dictated by did somebody tape it for me? Like, I didn't really have a
yeah.
choice. So I always liked Ghostbusters 2 a little bit more, just because it was the only one I had, even though it was like scary as hell.
I mean, you talked about that yesterday when we were in the metro looking in HMV at all the DVDs and stuff. We were saying, can you remember the VHSs? Because I think Funkos were selling these VHS like shaped boxes. We're like, that didn't look like that back in the day. But we were
No.
saying, can you remember the old booklet ones that used to pretend to be books, and then you used to have your own book wrote in where
Yeah.
each number was on, saying this was on this copy, and then you had to try to find it. You had to open up your book and say, "I want to watch Ghostbusters 2." So you had to go
Yeah.
down the list and find out it's on tape number 105.
Son,
was
would
like
you
a-
bring me number 7, Demolition Man?
Weren't they like leather like looking books? They're like green
Yeah.
and like burgundy, because I'm sure.
Just totally
have-
plastic, though. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I have. Oh yeah, there's no leather in there whatsoever. The Lord of the Rings, one of the extended versions was like that, like back when it first came out. I'm
right.
Oh,
sure.
really?
I'm positive that I don't have it in my collection because somebody else got to keep it. But I do remember it being that kind of green color from like the green and the burgundy. Yeah, they were something
Did anyone
special.
have any of those like double video cassette boxes as well, where it was literally just like a double wide, like giant thing that would like close together if you had like 2 tips or something?
Didn't have one of
I
them. I
vaguely
want one
remember.
now.
I think I had Wallace and Gromit, like 2 of the movies, and it came in like a massive case because it was like the wrong trousers and the close shave together at last.
I remember when video recorders changed to long play and slow play as well. That was a game changer for us pirators as well, because we could get like 4 hours instead of, you can turn 2 hours of videotape into 4 hours, and it was just like yes, best time
whole
ever.
wrestling pay-per-view on one videotape finally.
Definitely.
I actually have a bunch of videotapes that Michaela gave us when she moved house, and there's like all the Disney ones are there, so all the original Disney ones from the 90s, but there's also my wrestling tapes are in there too.
Nice.
And one of them is my favorite event of all time is Backlash 2000, and it's still there, and I just remember being up recording that shit all night till 4 o'clock in the morning on Channel 4. It was amazing.
Did you try and skip the adverts or just let them ride?
I let them ride, Jake, in
Yeah.
the end. I think I
It's
tried
good though, because when you
initially.
watch it back, like, you know, years later, you're like, haha, yes. Because I think when I got WrestleMania 17, I managed to catch that amazing like football like call-in advert where it's like, got any leeches for this, and then like the football match. Like I managed to catch that like after WrestleMania. I was like, this is the best like slice of the the time period.
That's
That's
just
so
jogged a
cool.
memory. I don't know whether I should tell it, because literally it probably could get me brother. Well, not get me brother into trouble. I don't give a fuck about that. But basically, because I used to record all the pay-per-views when it comes to the wrestling, because I like with it being school days, it used to be on a Sunday night. So I used to record it on a Sunday night, go to school on the Monday, get all excited, and get home and watch it on the Monday night when I got in. So I was playing it, and it was the time I caught my brother out. So basically, I pressed record and went to bed, and around 1 o'clock, like say the channel changed to the 10-minute previews.
Oh,
Television
But-
X.
But then you would have been the most popular guy in school if you've got the wrestling tape with the 10-minute preview in the middle of it.
Oh fuck that! I was pissed. I was so pissed I missed the wrestling. I grassed him up instantly.
You
I went to me
fucking
mum and
grass.
dad. I went to me dad. I went, this is not on. I missed my wrestling because of this. So yeah.
Did you have the evidence tape
I had-
and
I
everything like ready to put in? Watch this.
Exhibit A.
Yes. I was that much of a dick, but I was so angry because of I missed the wrestling that night. Yes.
That's so funny.
Sorry, brother.
Oh, that's the best kind of story.
But yes. So Turtles.
Yeah.
So watching this movie again for the first time yesterday, I think we all did, except from Sammy, who watched it today. After we stuffed our face on pizzas, it was
We did.
the right idea to watch it after that, because whoever made this movie, the first 2 or 3 minutes of this movie is just a pizza fetish.
Yeah.
It is literally
Yeah,
say anything I've ever seen for food is just literally these people walking around eating pizzas in the most weirdest way though as well. There was not one person just taking a slice and having a bite. There was one guy who had this massive slice about this big, and he was trying to force it into his face. I was like, what's he doing?
There
it was
some
as
food
it was
fetish
if they
going
were
on
told to act like it was really hot, because some of them were just like, it's like what's happening?
I've actually wrote notes as it went on, just to like kind of like either talking points or something I want to ask, and I've literally wrote literally everyone eating pizza in the opening question mark.
Well, one thing the opening definitely wasn't about is ninjas.
No.
4 giant turtles running in off the street into a brightly lit room, jumping into the air in front of about 20 people. Very ninja-like.
And
But
what was with the outfits on those bad guys? They were all dressed like little lads who went to like the school dance for the first time and got their first shirt.
Wearing like the nylon
Did-
masks as well. There weren't even balaclavas. There was like weren't even
They
like
were wearing socks on their head.
Who went to
Stockings.
the school dance with a sock over the head, Jake?
well,
I did grow up in Sunderland.
it was a different time back then. But yeah, it was an interesting start. But one thing because when you think about the turtles, you think like when you look at the cartoons, like the movies that came out later and stuff, everything's really colourful and really bright and really fun. Like if you look back, even the first turtles in this one, this is a really dark movie. All the tones and all the colours used are very, very black and very, very toned down. There's not very. It did give us a lot of feelings like the old Turtles comic as well, and I think that's why, like me personally, I always gravitate and love the original 2 movies because it has that kind of dirty, grungy feel as well. And I think the later ones that's came out, it's kind of lost that appeal a little way.
Yeah. What I read when I was reading up on this today was that the creators, and I'm really sorry, I'm blanking on their names right now, but that's what they wanted for this one.
Mm-hmm.
They said that there was enough material. They wanted to stick to the comic books style of things and story as well, so they didn't want to bring Shredder, yes, into it. Did I get that right? I got that right, yeah. Shredder,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
They didn't want to bring Shredder back. They said they had enough in their wheelhouse to like, we can do more. But they wanted to bring the dirty gritty back, and I think that's the only part that they actually took from their notes was
Right.
just the
Yeah.
dirty gritty side of things and not go down the comic book route.
I
They
mean, I
wanted
was
aliens, didn't they?
that
Why
is
not?
Ninja Turtles. It's
Mm.
full of
Yeah.
aliens in the comics, but like it's weird because as a kid, I wanted Krang. I think like like that made sense to my kid brain, but they were obviously going like way away from that kind of thing.
Like how, like in that type of world, it would have been like a complete mindful just to have this little
Yeah.
brain thing running around. It would have been interesting to see.
Would have been a good puppet, hopefully.
Yes.
if Jim Henson made Krang.
Let's talk
Well,
about the puppets as
he
well,
was-
because with
Well, he wasn't making anything because he died during this.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah, it's dedicated to Jim Henson at the beginning.
the Grim Reaper has
Okay.
struck again, but yeah.
Yep.
But let's talk about the puppets as well, because they made some decisions for this movie, and I don't know if you guys know or have any knowledge about this. Like, why did they change? Like, why did they go with the characters that they did when Bebop and Rocksteady is the obvious choice that they would have picked? But
Yeah.
it was kind of like, did they made up new characters for this? I don't know if it was down to rights or they thought like a rhino and warthog wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's weird because like I remember as a kid not liking like the names are kind of like unpronounceable, like Toka and Razar or
Yes.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Like-
And I remember thinking like that's a bad idea. First of all, giving them like names nobody's gonna like remember. But
And they
yeah,
were
you're right. Like,
adorable.
but I suppose like I don't think Bebop and Rocksteady were in the early comic run, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of go straight to like those rock people and aliens and like the Triceratops people and stuff like that, don't they? Actually, I'm pretty sure in the second arc, the turtles get transported to like another planet, and it's like, right, okay, this is real comic books. We're immediately going straight off the rails.
No, definitely. But I think if they were going, like as you said, they went down the mutagen route with this one, it would have made sense to go with like the characters that people were more familiar with.
Mhm.
But I don't know whether it was like a ploy to try and sell more action figures, because that's what they were doing at the time. It was like anything that were making like a film or movie wise, it was to sell
Yeah.
the merchandise.
I
to sell-
had a Toka action figure, the one that transformed into
So it
like a
worked.
terrapin, and then back into like the big one.
I don't want to diss or say that they made the wrong choice, because like physically when you see them on screen they look amazing and they're great, like there's so much fun when they're on screen. But I always felt a little bit flat as a kid, because you wanted Bebop and Rocksteady, and that would have been like the ultimate thing. And again with the Doctor, the guy who plays, was it Professor Jordan? I think
I know who you mean.
Um,
David Warner, who plays
David
him.
Warden. That was back to Stockton. Like, why did they change the name? Like everything about him was back to Stockton, and I was like, great, this is going to be turn him into a fucking fly. But
we've never had a fly, like we've never had the Baxter Stockman fly, like for years and years and years. They keep putting him in every like new movie and reboot, and they never pull the trigger on the fly. Like I don't understand it, because it's one of the most iconic things that every kid remembers. He was a boss in like every video game as well.
He was always my favorite as well, though. Like, I love Back to Stockton. I love the aesthetics, and it always used to give us the little callback to Jeff Goldberg in The Fly as well.
Do you not think that's what maybe has stopped them, is the fact that it's
scary.
Like it's body modification. What's the word I'm going for? Like dismodification. Yeah, it's body horror. And it's going from one person to a fly. And we've seen how that transformation has happened before, and it's not pretty.
Well,
so maybe that's why.
Yeah, it keeps his lab.
How?
He's a nice fly, but it's a bit different to Jeff Goldblum's sitting on someone's arm and melting type thing. But like Cronenberg was a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah, Baxter, it was like that was his comeuppance for messing around with mutants so much. They were like, no, you are a mutant, and the worst kind of mutant.
Also, do you feel like this movie missed not having Casey Jones in as well? Because he like kind of brought a bit of a relief in the first one, and like I kind of like the character. Not having him there, it kind of felt like it was missing something.
They like replaced him with Keno, was it, or something? Whatever.
Yeah, with Ernie Reyes Jr., who played Keno, and he was Donatello's stunt double in the first movie.
Yeah,
and
I think you guys mentioned that, and I didn't know.
I generally thought he was Donatello's voice. If you heard him talk, he sounds like one of the turtles. And I was like closing my eyes going, could he have possibly been? But they said, when I read about him, they were saying like they loved him so much, loved his energy, loved all the positivity. Because what happens when you don't give positivity the first movie, you're not invited back for the second one, which is what happened to April O'Neil.
Yes.
Oh, really? She shit on the first one so much. They didn't invite her back for the second one. And he apparently was like this ray of sunshine, and they wanted to give him his own character within this universe, and that's why you get him for. And I thought that was lovely. I thought he was a lovely little addition.
Yeah, I think it worked as well, because normally when you're a kid, you like reject like the children character, don't you? When you're like, oh, this is the one they've put in for the kids. But I always liked him as a guy. He was more interesting than Casey Jones to me as a child, I think. But then as an adult, I'm like, Casey Jones was awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
I loved Casey Jones.
Oh,
I played ice hockey when I was a kid, and Casey Jones always got his hockey mask on and stuff, so I was like, oh, this guy's mint.
Well, I've wrote in one of my notes, is Kevin Clash Kevin Nash? Have they just gotten their names wrong? Oh no, wait, that's Elmo.
Kevin Nash is in this movie. I
literally wrote that down.
He is, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that because Jake had mentioned something about Kevin Nash, and I was waiting for his name to pop up. But then it said Kevin Clash, and I was like, has he changed his name? And I was like, oh no, hang on. That's Elmo. So that's one of the Turtles voices.
Right, okay. Because in the Jim Henson connection as well, so yeah.
Yeah, oh sorry, he's not a turtle, he's Splinter. That's who he is.
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I do love this movie as well. It is fun. It's it's a little bit different to the first one. The first one is a little bit more action-packed, but what I do like about this, to get the personalities of the turtles a little bit better in this one than they do the first.
Yeah.
Because Donatello's not a goofball and stupid as he is in the first one. He actually has a bit of sense, and he's like, as you say, the tech guy now.
They make him the lame one who can't get like the catchphrases right.
No.
the little nerd.
And the voices were brilliant. I know Corey Feldman was not asked to return to come back. But what the fuck is going on with Raphael's voice in this movie? What the fuck? was that choice.
He's just
Because
angry.
that
He's
was
just
terrible.
he's just an angry,
Oh,
grumpy man.
Paul, that was just so bad. It was like the worst impression of a mob boss
Yeah.
was Raphael's voice. It
I
was
think you would find the
terrible.
worst impression of a mob boss is Jack Nicholson's the Joker, but we'll get there one day.
One day. I just could not. I even wrote, "What is with Raph's voice?" It was the minute he started talking. It was.
It was
Oh,
it was
that's a
trying to do
choice.
like a Brooklyn type of accent, like oh, dear. It's like
Yeah, it might have been because he was too scary in the first one, so maybe they had to like make him
tone it
more
down.
goofy.
I thought he kind of worked more in the first one. I wasn't. I love the new suits. I love the face. I love the fact that you've got a bit more interaction with the eyes, and they use that quite a lot in the opening scene, especially when Donatello was staring directly at the fucking camera. That stuff like that creeps me out.
Yeah.
I don't like when people break the fourth wall and just look at the camera. Michael J. Fox does a brilliant one in Back to the Future too, and it really freaks us out.
Oh.
But
Sammy doesn't like eye contact. We're finding out here.
No.
That's why
What
Lita
really
starts
got
staring
us-
in her face. Look at me, Sam.
I'll always look past you. What really got us though was the neck.
Just look at his
Yeah, you
penis.
could
Sammy.
see-
Look at his penis. But it's fine. Yeah.
I really couldn't get away from the neck area.
No, you could see the like overlap, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like if the
you could see
bodysuit.
where it was coming in here and the wrinkles in the neck, which I thought, yeah, like yes, the wood. It's good for them to have like movement, and the would have something there, but it just didn't fit right when you can see the underneath the jawline.
I have to say, give them credit where it's due. They had the
Oh,
balls to go full like suits as well, because even like the bodysuits had the muscle definition that didn't move when it flexed or moved. It was kind of like
Yeah.
if you look back, the legs and like had the lines in, but then if they got the legs crossed, it's like the muscles wouldn't react or move that way. But like say, again, that if you're gonna nitpick and stuff, that like, but the only other way they could have done it would have been CGI, and it wouldn't have been as fun.
No, and it's probably because I'm watching on like a 4K telly, and like everything is like super duper imposed. Like I can see everything.
It'll probably
So-
look better in the 90s when you couldn't
Yeah.
see any of this stuff.
Only
should've-
thing
I should've
out
sent
of
me
the turtles
VHS
as well, all the turtles that we got, the one that we lost a little bit in this movie though was Leo. We didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
there was
kind
nothing
of
there.
just fell to the background and didn't really get the same time of impact as we did in the first one. Because
I think that's probably because he's the least funny one. Like
I know.
he's got to be the calm, collected leader, hasn't he? And everyone else is all like, "Whoa!"
the first one they did it
Raphael
well
was the
because
leader?
no, Raph's always just like the antisocial, anti-establishment, the one that people kind of related to. But
Yeah, they're like I guess they always play Raph as like technically he's like the strongest and like best
Right.
fighting turtle. But that doesn't
we
make
need
a great
Raph.
leader.
We need Raph to be like he is to progress the plot. Like in the first one, he buggers off and shit happens. In this
Yeah.
one, he does exactly the same again. Gets captured.
it is in essence the same kind of story, except from Splinter doesn't get kidnapped this time. He makes a weird cameo towards the end when they're all about to be like get shish kebabbed, and then Splinter.
Where did he learn to use a bow and arrow?
He's always
It was It's in his toy. Paul was just about to say sorry. He used his toy accessory.
Thank you, Jake. Oh, bless you. Like, I
Sorry.
love it when me and Jake's in the same minefield at the times as well. But yeah,
That
Were you
little
gonna go
red
grab it
bow and
as
arrow.
well?
sorry.
He's
Were you going to go and grab it as well? Do you
I've
have
got it
'Cause
there,
I-
but it'll probably knock all the other
yeah,
turtles.
don't touch it. That's what I was worried about.
Like, see if you
I
can-
have seen what you do with your collection when it moves.
So that's the turtles collection there, all the figures.
Oh, that is so cool.
So, but yeah, Splinter's in there with his little bow and arrows, hiding behind Rocksteady and Bebop at the moment. So,
Oh, he's getting comfort.
But yeah,
Um,
like Splinter was weird in this one. It was, and the puppet looked like it had changed quite a bit because it was less like ratty. He was a bit more like a
He's
dog.
tidy.
Yeah.
He's a lot tidier. I wonder if that's just down to his living. Like he's been living because
True.
we got a new upgraded April. We
Yeah.
also got an upgraded April's apartment,
yes.
and
Yeah.
that looked a lot cleaner. So maybe just his environment is
Well, to be
cleaning
fair,
up.
April
'cause
did
the
get
old one-
promotion in the last film because, like, see,
And the old one burned down. Remember the
Yeah.
Foot Clan burnt down
That's
the
right.
antique store.
Yeah, and I had nowhere to
continue,
live.
Will. Doing good. Continue with it.
Yeah,
Only the thing is, though, with Splinter, this one, did anyone used to watch the old BBC show, like Five Things in It, where there used to be like the Salmonard in the pit where you used to grant wishes. Splinter
No.
used to recognize, like, look
Fucking
like it,
hell.
like from that, because that's what he used to like come out and just pop out and just do random wishes for people.
Yep, you've just unlocked a memory.
Yeah. But
Damn it.
but Splinter used to like he just popped up and like the thing is what I love about this one is normally with bad guys they go after the second one like we need to get bigger and just for bigger sake.
Mhm.
Shredder's got a little bit of reflection, and I think it's very understated and done so well. He's not blaming everyone else. Like he blames the Foot Clan failed him, but he actually says I failed. So he's not doing like the big and evil because he's big and evil. It's because he feels he needs to progress because he's not good enough, and um I quite like that as in a bad guy as well. It's not just like going for big stake.
Yeah, and it was like
Gives depth.
he literally like admits at one point that he doesn't care about if it's a smart plan. He cares about revenge, and it's like, all right, there you go. Like he knows this isn't probably like the best, like the smartest idea, but I guess at that point he's like all scarred up and crap like that,
Yeah.
and he doesn't really fight in this one, so I don't know if he was supposed to be like too injured to do anything. They never really said it.
No.
No.
This was like the first one. He definitely would have killed that guy. When he came in, the guy went, "Oh my god, look at his face!" I think Shredder would have killed that guy in the first one.
Yeah.
Did anyone want to see his face though? Because we don't actually see it properly. We just see little,
Just
No.
little
scars.
I like the
scars and
mystery.
that.
I just like the mystery of him. So in this movie, apparently, this is what I read today. It explores self-discovery, embracing one's unique qualities, and finding acceptance in others. And once you've been talking there, I'm kind of like, is that more towards like Shredder, or is that the Turtles? Because now I
There's
don't
no
know.
fucking growth in the Turtles. Let's be
I
honest.
think
All the
like
Turtles
Donatello's the only one who finds a new friend with that scientist guy who encourages him to like, do stuff.
And Donatello has the real emotional moment in this movie, and there's not many emotional moments in the whole
No.
whole film. There's one where they're talking about how the mutagen was created, like the ooze, and the in the new layer, and like say they're having a conversation with the scientist, and the scientist basically explains that it's a mistake.
Mhm.
And Donatello has this like existential crisis, like I'm a mistake. Like what created
Yeah.
me wasn't meant to happen. Like I thought I had a higher purpose, and we all have them type of moments at time. Like Lee has it on a daily basis, but but seeing that like Donatello's and like all the other turtles don't quite grasp or even like are bothered by it, but he
Yeah.
has that like little like it's a little scene, and I think this is why this film is a little bit more underrated than it is. It has them little moments that kind of like grab you and like if they just held on and went a little bit further with stuff like that, this would be on such a higher more regard than what's classed as a cult classic.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do have one note that I just want to get out the way with was the cab couple. Can anyone remember the cab couple when they're getting into the taxi and they're just
Get his
acting
own
like
taxi.
yeah, they're just acting like everything's so fucking casual. There's like these mutated monsters in front of them, and they're like, "What? They're pulling down the pylons. What do
Like
we
to
do
tell-
if they come to us?" They get their own taxi.
Are they famous? Because that seems like it should be like if this was a
Yeah.
Marvel film, that would be Stan Lee.
Yeah, or if it was like the Gremlins, it would be like some friggin' like 1950s actors that were like just hanging
Something
about on
like
set.
that. I just wrote down how hilarious this couple because like they're just
Yeah.
acting like this is just the norm. That is so normal for their world that somebody would be this giant monster would be pulling down pylons.
New
Oh, it
York
was
was a different
hilarious.
place back then.
was.
Yeah, it was
Movies
a
will
di-
have it.
It was a very dangerous place. You don't know what could have come down the street. You could have had like say Topper and Razor. You could have had the Marshmallow Man.
The taxi driver.
The taxi driver was the scariest one of them all, to be fair.
Exactly.
This film as well, and then, I know it's going to sound shit. It almost like it feels like two different directors made different parts of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like ultra serious but fun, like when they go to like say the what's it called, the junkyard, and they find like the fight. It's like after that part, it then goes completely off the just mental state where it's just absolutely nuts. Where they get smashed into this club where you don't know a club's going to be there. Like this club's just magically appeared, and like because
Yep.
it's silent, there's no noise coming from it. But then they go into the club, and it's fucking Vanilla Ice on
Yeah,
stage.
it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
all of them
it
are
is.
freaking out, saying, "Oh, the great suits and stuff." And Vanilla Ice, being the genius he is, and goes, "Ah, there's some turtles. There must be ninjas. So I'm going to make this
No.
go ninja, go ninja, go."
Oh, for fuck's sake. I actually wrote down Vanilla Ice, LOL. Like he could come up with them lyrics in that amount of time.
Yeah, and it's like and how they play it is like some guy like left the drum beat playing, and they're all
And then
like,
he's like,
hang on a sec,
"Yeah,
wait a minute."
I got this.
It's like, wait, is this not your drum beat for a song you were just about to sing? Like, what's going on?
So then he starts spitting all these lyrics, and it's like, fuck off, man. You were
It's-
done for plagiarism.
It's no Turtle Power rap either.
No.
Like that
No, it's
that
not.
one has like that one's got attitude, and this one's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. Vanilla Ice wasn't for me. Even as like a child, I was like, this guy.
There was
sucks.
always something a
Ice
bit
isn't
iffy
for
about
anyone.
him. Yeah.
That
But-
dance is pretty cool though that they all do. Where they're like,
Oh, the one that I took for the TikTok today, I had to watch a fair few times as I was putting it together, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's pretty fun. I do like it.
But again,
But, like, did you notice as well how many times they made the turtle stunt people do backflips in the
Yeah.
full suit as
A
well?
lot.
Like,
Look at what we can do in this suit.
yeah, like how the hell did the head not come off when they were doing that? And they even leave them in the background of the shot as well, because normally it would be like you get one backflip and then we'll reuse the footage, but like the characters walk away and like leave them in the background still doing flips,
Yeah.
or just
I
doing
d-
this as Mikey does.
yes.
12, 13.
But yeah. But that scene though, when like they go into the warehouse, like I think as Sammy said before, when you said this film is about acceptance, because that's what probably they said was that's where the turtles felt accepted by the crowd, that they weren't treated
Yeah.
like monsters and stuff. And then we got the Super Shredder, which again, because if we're going to go by if we're going to go by Turtles law, so how the mutagen apparently works in the comics, even in the TV shows, is basically when you come in contact with a mutagen, it crosses you with the DNA, with the kind of the things that you've been in the most contact with. So with
Yeah.
Turtles, it was humans. With Splinter, it was humans. So when Shredder becomes in contact with the mutagen, what the fuck does he turn into? Like what has he been in contact with to turn into like Kevin Nash?
Himself, but bigger.
But he's like, but
it's
even
a
like
good plot point.
the claws, because normally he's got like the 3 claws, and he turns into the Mr. Spiky Man.
Suit.
Yeah,
Suit
that-
gross.
That does not make sense because you get a lot of close-ups of the mask, and I'll show the figure, and like that is not his mask like throughout the entire movie.
No.
That is so cool, though.
And then somehow it like turns into this. He gets extra spikes on his shoulders. He's got about 9 on his arms now. But yeah, like as a kid, that didn't make sense either. But I think just the idea, like the concept of like, oh, the bad guys accidentally swallowed the mutagen. Like I think that's such a fun concept when you're a kid. You don't like question it, and
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
though
you
like
hope the directors are just like, it's cool, shut up.
It's Kevin Nash. It's okay.
that's what I was gonna say when Paul said like it feels like 2 different directors. Like it feels like this is one of those movies where they like went to the focus group, like you know, like that
Yeah.
Simpsons episode, and like they were like, "Oh, kids, what do you want? Like, we want musical numbers and more mutants, and you know, like this and this," and they were like, "Oh crap, we've got to put it all in."
But
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm
no, and
I'm just
again
getting flashbacks.
with the mutagen as well, it makes the beings, or like the thing that comes in contact, smarter, because like as you said, the turtles got smarter because like so we become humans. Splinter got smarter. Even Token and Razor got smarter at the start as like children, and if Jake wants to do his
They're
favorite line,
babies.
Babies.
But
I
yeah,
love that line.
I thought they were so adorable, by the way, them two characters.
Oh,
I
they
just
were.
wanted
I
to
love them.
smush their
The
faces.
word.
But-
It is proper cute. The
nom,
nom noms.
nom. But
All I
Shredder.
thought about was Paul when they kept saying num nums.
But it's glad you think about it that way, Sammy. It's fine.
Yeah.
But Shredder seemed to get stupider because when he went to shoot stupid Shredder, he started, but it's destroy this giant duck.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think's going to happen? The turtles are in front of you.
He's Kevin
Attack
Nash.
the turtles. But no, he's like, I'll destroy all these things and make things fall on top of me. Ah!
And they even tell him, don't they? They're like, if you keep going, like you'll kill us all. And he's like, so be it. It's just like, but
even before that, like the first film, they couldn't lay a finger on him, and in
No.
this one, they defeat him in his normal form with a keytar.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's so rushed.
Yeah.
I felt like that ending was so quickly over with. I thought I'd missed something.
yeah. I think like as well, like they go to the junkyard,
Mhm.
then they have to like think of a reason for them to like go back to the
Mhm.
bad guys' lair, and I feel like fair enough, like the part where he lets them loose in the town is like a cool concept for like
Mhm.
drawing the turtles out of hiding. But I feel like it's like the same thing twice, and they might as well have just had them stay in the original fight and then do the whole like. But I guess they needed to like figure out the the answer
Does
to
this not
donuts.
go back to your earlier statement of they probably already had the set built and just went, just use that set again?
Maybe.
Back there.
Money
Yeah.
scene.
Well, they
saying
spent
that-
all the money on the club scene, and they're
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Oh, that's it. Like,
We needed
On
higher
Vanilla
Vanilla
Ice.
Ice to write a song in 30 seconds.
fuck
Um,
off.
But saying that though, I do like what you just said just jogged the memory because basically the Dark Knight just basically ripped off this movie in a way if you think about it, with the Joker saying he's going to blow up the city if
Oh,
Batman
yeah.
doesn't reveal himself. So it's kind of like Joker and
On the
Shredder's.
scaffolding.
Yeah, so basically Shredder unleashed Joker and Razor until the Turtles come to fight him. So Batman ripped off the Turtles. Fuck.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, you dirty dog.
Hot
He would
takes
never
coming
admit
today.
to watching this movie.
No, not at
Could you
all.
imagine a Chris Nolan Turtles movie?
Oh, it'd be bleak as fuck, but I think it'd be really good actually. I think it would kind of like the grittiness that they obviously wanted from this and the comic book storylines. I think Nolan would do it.
It would
Does
basically
anyone-
be Cillian Murphy playing Shredder and Gary
Oh,
Oldman
yeah.
playing Splinter.
Nobody, he wouldn't get his Shredder outfit until like the very end.
Yes.
Very end, yeah, and it'd be in a glass case of everything. Does anyone want to harbour a guess of what the Rotten Tomato score was for this movie?
If it's above 50, I'll be surprised.
35.
Jake,
Is that what?
36.
Ooh.
It's
36% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I liked it a lot more as a kid, but seeing it now, I'm like, especially this close to one, when we actually watched
Yeah.
it and paid
Mm.
attention. I think I'm like, yeah, one is the adult movie
Yeah.
that kids think's cool as well, and then two is the kids movie that adults are like, oh, this is weird and kind of boring, and look, there's Vanilla Ice, and like
I don't understand the appeal of having Vanilla Ice in, but this is one thing I didn't get from this movie was toy advertisements. So do you know how when we did the first one and then we did
Yeah.
Batman as well, and both of them two like kind of felt like they were aiming for like toy advertisements more than anything.
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling from this. Maybe I was missing it, but I just didn't feel like they were advertising anything.
No,
And
because
that-
like when you think about it, they should have had like the turtle van and stuff like that
Yeah.
by this point. But I think maybe
It's not very
they were
ninja.
No. Exactly, they were going against like everything like toy
Mhm.
makers would think. Like
Yeah.
they were it seems like purposely making it as hard to make toys as possible. Because like I was saying
really
to
did.
like earlier on, I didn't like the turtle movie action figures. They were a bit creepy looking.
Yeah.
They weren't as fun as the original, like with the angry mouths and the white eyes, because they tried to make them look like the
Real.
movie characters.
They tried to make them look so real.
Mm.
Were these the suits that they took on stage, and they did like their tours and
They're coming out of your shell tour.
Yes, that one. With them the suits, because like the animatronics in them
Possibly.
are absolutely fantastic, especially for like the 90s, and being able to make their faces move as well was just genius. But it's still not a patch on the first suit, and I know I had comments on about the first suit, but when you look at the second one, it gives us the ick a little bit. It really
Yeah.
does.
This small details and changes I noticed from the first one, like the shells have scarred up a bit more. There's more scratches and cuts in the
Right.
shells when you look into them when they're walking from behind, and they're very careful with the shells this time so that they don't show the rubbery side of it. Where the first one,
Yeah.
they didn't
They
give a
didn't
fuck.
care.
Like
That if they looked like they were bouncing off the
they're
floor.
bouncing off or moving in certain things. But they used the shells well in this one as well. Like when they're fighting, like the bald-headed, like sensei. I can't remember his
Oh,
name.
Tatsu.
Tatsu.
Yeah.
Where all four
Does
of
that
them.
just mean dragon?
I'm not sure.
Is it?
I'm sure it's like because that's
Lee,
like
get on your
part-
brick keyboard and find out.
But yeah, like that was weird though, because like he's always like he's shown to be like so scary, and they just like tricked him and then like
And
slammed
squished
him
him
with
with
all
their
the shells.
But I thought that move was so genius. It almost looked very cartoonish when he kind of like
Yeah.
got hit and he went, oh, and then fell down. And I was like, it just sounded like a boink needed to be.
But like
at the
earlier
end of
on, he was
that.
like chopping through things with his bare hands because he was so angry. Like, and then
What was it with the fight scenes when when they were fighting and they were just holding the TN, you know, what you just had in your hand?
oh
earlier?
yeah.
They were holding it in the air like, oh, look at this. Like,
Oh.
it was,
Yeah.
It was the Flash Gordon moment. Have you ever seen the old Flash Gordon movie where they're running through like and Flash is an ex NFL player, so they made up this thing in Ming's castle where this dual egg.
Aussie American football against all of the
all
gods.
the Ming's like army and stuff, and he basically Flashes outperforming them. It was basically that scene just copied because Flash is throwing the egg about and people's catching it and passing it back.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a trope when it comes to like them type of movies and stuff. It's like, I've got it. Oh no, I don't. Now it's being fired
made
across
us-
the room.
It made us laugh. And what also made us laugh as well, the fight scenes.
Mhm.
So I get it. I get the fact that like these are not they're the suits that they're wearing, and I'm not going to make them move fast. But the bad guys like have so many opportunities to like get in there, nip in there, like proper swoop in, and they fucking stand around for ages. Like,
Tell you what, though,
yeah, let's now fight. Like the
Yeah,
way
they're
they have,
like
such a
Power
pause.
Rangers villains, aren't they? Where
Very
they're like
much.
running in a circle round like very like acrobatic style, but not
Let's
really
Let's do
do
some
anything.
kicks and twists and moves,
I think
Yeah.
and then I'll hit you.
I think Jake nailed it on the head with his description a few seconds ago. Was basically saying Turtles 1 was for like the adults ones, and this one was basically trying to merge a little bit into like the kiddie market and stuff. Because the fight scenes in the first Turtles movie was brutal, was great. Like
Yeah.
like the choreography was great. This one was so much comedy in it. Like when Michelangelo gets like put in like kind of like all pile on, and they're like punching away at him, and he just like
Yeah.
crawls out the other side and just looks at them punching nothing. It's like that, and then you've got Donatello doing the old punching bag thing where he's
Yeah.
just moving.
That's when he looks at the camera.
Yeah.
That's the moment when he looks at the camera, and I'm like, "Fuck no, mate! Turn your eyes."
Mikey not allowed to use his nunchucks, so the
No.
sausages.
Well, that's
That's
another
Link,
thing.
dude.
and the yo-yo.
The yo-yo. Well, yo-yos were a big thing in the night. Like I
That would
collected
hurt as well.
yo-yos.
Let's be fair.
Yeah, but they did say that they did tone the weapons down in this because obviously the comments made on the first one about the violence. They didn't want to upset Jim Henson, even though, like I said at the beginning, he died halfway through making this.
But that had changed, like with the first Turtles movie for the international market. Like for the UK, there was probably about 10 minutes of the movie cut out because they couldn't show Michelangelo using these nunchucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
Or
is so
Spenny using the
fucking
nunchucks.
ridiculous.
So they
So-
would have definitely wanted to avoid that whole
Yeah.
thing again.
Yeah. Which
You
was
know, I think it was like a bit of a like a joke, like, "Ha, we'll use nunchucks, but there'll be sausages."
Yeah, and like they were in the movie. April throws them around, but they
Yeah.
just weren't used for any violence. So I guess that was the cut off.
I felt the violence was really toned down in this, and I think it suffered a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give us violence, god damn it.
No, like
'cause, like,
Ninja Turtles.
When the first fought like Toker and Razor, like like he did that whole stupid Bugs Bunny thing where he hits him with a stick and then he's like, "Ugh." But then after that, he knocks him like 50 feet through the air and he like crashes through like one of the shed roofs, and I'm like, okay, so there's the stakes. And but then like they show them to be strong, but they never really like put the turtles in any danger
No.
ever again.
No.
No.
And even when Shredder's doing his thing, they just kind of go like, "Hey, we should use our turtle roots and just jump into the water." And like, yeah, you should.
Yeah, do that.
It's weird when like movies that are just completely fantasy and out there, when they use logic. It's
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
to beat their own like script.
it's like, damn you, logic, you stupidity. But
I do love that line though, when they're like, "I love being a turtle" type of thing, because that stuck around a little bit to like other properties and stuff like.
Yeah.
And I like that that's the origin of it, when they're like, "Yeah, being a turtle saved our lives. We don't just want to be human."
how did
So
you feel though
self-discovery.
with how the franchise went after this though? Because it went
Well,
in a direction.
I gotta say, it went in a great direction, because if my memory serves me right, the third one was always my favorite. So when are we doing the third review?
I hope we do. I didn't. I hated it when I was a kid, but
Me too.
I had one of them
I
dodgy
love-
videos where it was like lines across the screen. It was recorded in a cinema or something, and then dubbed
Yeah.
over, or
Mhm.
I can't remember. It was shit, and I hated it. But then it auto played after watching this the other night, and it was like, oh, this is really good. I enjoy this a lot more than I
loved
remember.
it.
I mean,
went to
I'm
see
ready
it
to be
again.
wrong, because I didn't enjoy Secret of the Ooze as much as I remembered. Like on closer inspection.
My
It's
autoplay at the end of mine was the first movie, and I was like, I can't go back and watch that absolute masterpiece after watching this.
yeah.
Because you'll just forget everything.
Exactly, I really will. That's why I'm tending to now, is to write stuff down as I'm going, just so I can remember my thought process. Because I
Yeah.
would
yeah.
never remember that cab couple if I hadn't wrote it down.
But I know famously Turtles 3 killed the franchise.
Wow.
I think, is it like more serious in tone? Like,
Is it because it got too clever?
I think so. It tried to get too, in itself, it didn't have really a big bad. It kind of just went down the whole thing of going down the history of like
Oh,
Japan
I
and
loved it.
stuff.
yeah.
As a kid, I thought the bad guy was Rick Mail, but it's not. It's Jack Travis from Lethal Weapon 3, but he looked very
Really?
Rick Mail as a kid.
Well, if you disappointed as an adult.
Yeah.
And Jake
I
reminded
didn't-
us as well, and I totally got blown away about this one as well. There's a Turtles 4 in the
Yeah.
franchise.
2007.
Yeah, so it's just called TMNT,
Mhm.
and it's
Is it?
animated. But like they take it seriously, and I think like there's a room and with like the ooze canister and the shredder helmet and then the samurai helmet, and it's like, so they're actually acknowledging that this is after
That's
all
the
one.
only thing I remember from that film. I can't remember
Yeah,
anything else that happens.
It's something to do with like evil spirits, I think, that they end up fighting.
Ooh.
But I think it's just it's one of those ones where it's obviously made by people who grew up watching the movies as a kid and were like, we're gonna fix the franchise, because like Paul said, for some reason all of us kids just noped out at 3, and I don't know. But like samurais you'd think would be like super popular, but I just didn't like it, and I can't remember why.
I remember it was heavily merchandised, number 3.
Mhm.
Because
Uh-huh.
Turtles 1, there wasn't much merchandise. It was kind of like leaning towards the cartoon. Turtles 2 led into it, but Turtles
Yeah.
3, they went big on the merchandise and it lost a lot of money to the
Mhm.
point where I think even the cartoon even suffered a little bit from it, where people might have been Turtles fatigue. Like people are going
Probably.
through Marvel fatigue at the moment. It
Mm.
was just too much, like say, turtle stuff that was out there. Because remember when you were like the cartoon, that you couldn't get the turtle figures for love or money.
Yeah.
You had to bribe the shopkeepers with like sexual favors to get them and everything as well.
You do that now as an adult.
Don't don't. Like, I'm not going to lie. I can't even
It's
argue that.
between Paul and the retro rooms, okay?
I thought it was B&M, but never mind.
Tell you what, B&M's got some good deals with turtles as well if you go around and find them.
Yep.
But yes, it's
But-
a strange one.
Yeah, so it is possible because remember, like this was second run of the Turtles, really,
Mhm.
because it's like an '80s cartoon, and yet they reran the hell out of it in the '90s to catch like the next batch of children.
Mhm.
Right.
So you're probably right, Paul. Like it's basically on its like second run of like merch cartoons being on the TV. There probably was just everyone sort of just forgot about it and was like, samurais, like it's back in the past, like it's we're not in New York anymore. I don't know.
But
And maybe it was the taking them out to New York that was the issue because you associate the turtles with the sewers with New York.
Yeah,
I have very fond memories of going to see it, and I hope when we do the third review they are not dashed. That's all I'm saying.
I'm ready to
Oh,
be wrong
aye.
about it.
It's fine. But when it
And if
comes to-
Lee's turned around on it, then that's a good sign.
To be fair, Lee can be turned around on anything though. Just ask Graeme. But when it comes to turtles as well, it's almost like catching like lightning in a glass. Because the first one, I know a lot of people like will look at it and go, "Oh, how can you say it?" But as Sammy said, it is a very good movie. Like when you
Yeah.
watch the full version, not the cut version that we got when we were kids. Like the full
And on
version. that
paper, it shouldn't work when
No.
you think about it.
And there's as you said, there's tragedy. There's moments where you actually feel that the turtles are in dire straits, and
Definitely.
there's things that just beautifully filmed as well. I think that doesn't get the credit for. But when you look at like what's came after, because we got as you said, the CGI, the animated one, then we got the part animated parts, like say where the turtles were like look like dinosaurs for some reason, where
Like the Michael
This is
Bay.
Michael Bay.
the Michael Bay ones, yes.
Mm.
They
Which
were
the first one isn't actually too bad, but the
No.
second one's really bad.
I'm not
I
saying
was
the
happy to see
second one
Krang.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was the only thing.
But
Like
then-
Krang finally on the big screen.
And then did you
Was
see
that
the
the
one that
first or
came out
second
last
one?
year?
Second one.
Oh,
Did you see
I've seen it.
the animated one that came out last year? That had,
No, but I
No,
heard
it
good
looks
things
excellent
about
now.
it.
Oh no.
it's very quirky. The storyline I like, and again, it's almost like it's got the Spider-Verse type animation, which
Yeah, I
Right.
saw
I
that,
did
yeah.
love. So if we get more like that, it's just again they're trying to toe the line of child and adult, where
Yeah.
if you go back to the dark roots, I know as Lee said at the start, he's reading The Last Ronin. The Turtles comics are very, very adult in theme.
Yeah.
The tone is dark and is bleak, and it's not. I wouldn't mind getting a movie for that, like that bleakness, that darkness, because
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it would work, especially in the modern day comic movies that we are getting now.
No.
The audience is there, and the audience would appreciate it.
Yeah, and especially like you say with the whole Spider-Verse thing, if they did like an interesting visual style, because it was like full on black and white comics drawn by two guys who were just like figuring out their own art style. Because like the original Turtle comics don't really look like anything else I've read. Like you can almost see the sort of the pencil lines and the sort of rough ideas like forming into like fully formed like characters.
Yeah.
hmm
So it would be
Well,
interesting.
Some of the panels, I don't think they've even gone past that pencil lines where they're having the ideas bit. They'll just have like
Yeah.
some sections where it's like a flashback, and they'll just have like some scribbles of the outline of a person.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very like punk in a way, like you know, like a
Yeah.
fanzine sort of thing, which I guess it was until it got like picked up properly.
I
I
know
do
there was
own The Last Ronin now.
yeah, I know there
the
was
last
talk
time we
about
spoke.
doing The Last Ronin like as a TV show, but I think it's coming out in a game. I think the game's coming out
Yeah, I
next
think
year.
you said which Turtles
Have you-
games are dangerous, hit and miss for sure.
Sammy, have you finished reading The Last Ronin yet?
No, I'm halfway through
Oh,
it.
No, we'll not give this
I'll
spoiler
not. I'll not say anything
I
about
asked
it
you
then.
not to spoil it the first time round when we talked about it, but I did. I bit the bullet and I got a very fancy version of it to like, so it would be part of the
Yeah.
me collection. And I'm like halfway through it, and it is just out of sheer laziness. Like I just keep putting it down. There's no reason for it. I just like I say, I'm lazy.
It's an interesting
I am
choice,
enjoying
but
it.
we'll,
I think like what I would recommend if anyone wants like an in between Turtles is there was the cartoon called TMNT, um, which took it a bit more serious, but it's like its own story. But like that the Shredder in that was like a legit like fighting threat.
Mhm.
And they touch on the whole like aliens and stuff eventually, but it was like it had its like goofy moments because it's like a kid's cartoon, but I don't know what year it would have been though, maybe like 2008 or something, literally just called TMNT. But I quite like that when I was sort of dossing about not having a job watching Fox Kids.
Fuck
Fox Kids
yeah.
used to have some interesting ones. I wouldn't mind having like a weirder story as well, like having the Rat King maybe I could say in the movie,
Yeah.
or even Leatherhead. Having Leatherhead coming into it would just be so bizarre. But like saying like a giant fuck off alligator from like down deep south, like fucking
Yeah.
stuff up.
I
Oh,
feel like they
fuck
might have to
yeah.
do it like Spider-Verse, just where everything like already exists and the
Yeah.
characters aren't really remarking on it anymore because they're like, yeah, of course we have octopus men, like, you know,
Like, why not?
This is just standard.
Do you not?
Spider-Man, get with the program. We don't have to talk about Uncle Ben every movie.
Can I ask a quick question? Do you think the suits used in the first, second, and third would work in a today movie?
Yes.
I would
Yeah?
be fine with it. I know some people are weird about like puppets and stuff like that, but I think
Dunno.
for when I grew up, when like you know, I probably thought Sesame Street characters were as real as the humans they were standing next to.
Well, yeah.
Like I just accepted it. I think I would be fine with it, but I don't know how younger audiences would.
That's what I
react
was
to it.
thinking. Like the younger
People our
the young-
age would definitely be like, "Oh, look, it's back like it was," and
Yeah.
like drag all the kids to it. But then teenagers might be like,
But if you look at the
I'm
suits
thinking-
that they make now, if like take away the CGI element, like if you look at some of the suits, like movies like like even like a couple of years ago, like the Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they could make more realistic and more like because I don't think they had a lot of the practical effects that they could have used back
Mhm.
then. They could actually make it a bit more realistic, and like if they like didn't make like
Yeah.
a full suit, did it in panels, or like where like the movement felt realistic and stuff.
Or have we gone too far past like practical knowledge? Is it all lost now? It has to be CGI. Like
I
don't
hope
know.
not, because because makeup and costuming is advanced since the 90s,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more techniques that could be used now within makeup to create. I don't know if you're going to create that realistic. You might be able to. Like, come on, Jack Pierce managed to make a guy look like Frankenstein in the 1930s with just a bit of clay and a hot gun. So
Lee's
it
done
has
it today.
progressed since then.
Lee, if you check out the video, it's on YouTube. Lee done the makeup today.
I'm just thinking we might be past the actual outfits. What was the other Jim Henson? Is it Jim Henson that did it? Was it the Dark Crystal?
Oh,
The
yeah.
remade a
Fuck.
series of. Was it that they
They
made a
did. No, they
new
did,
series
yeah,
for?
yeah.
They did Netflix
The
one
puppets.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, didn't that fail miserably?
No, it did really well. It just was the most expensive, one of the most expensive shows Netflix have ever made.
Right.
It
That might be why.
I tried to watch it because I definitely watched those movies as a kid, but
Mhm.
I couldn't understand the script. Like I had no idea what was going on, and that's only happened like 2 times from what I can remember.
Yeah.
And the only other time before that was True Detective season 2, where I was like,
Wow.
this script makes no sense.
No.
But I
None
loved-
whatsoever. We got
Yeah.
2 episodes in and went, nah.
And I don't know how you do that. That's actually
No.
it's quite impressive. But yeah, I was just like, no, I loved season 1, and this is I'm never
This
gonna
is not
think
it.
about True Detective ever again now.
I think Prison
Jordan-
Break did the same as well for me.
yeah,
new-
I fell off that pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a new True Detective coming out this month with Jodie Foster that's getting brilliant reviews.
Okay.
So
I'm like I say, I'm down if but are they going back to like the deep south to try and like recapture everyone?
I think it's just a different story in the True Detective like world type thing.
Okay.
But Jodie Foster, like if she's going to be playing full Clarice Starling, like it could be quite
Yeah.
interesting.
Definitely.
Could be something.
But yeah, with the Turtles now, I wouldn't say no to the suits. I think the problem what they've did, they brought the suits back, but they've done it in like a kids' TV show. I think remember they used to it was on Fox as well, but they brought the
Yeah.
female turning the Venus as well.
Venus.
That was basically a Power Rangers like format as well, if I
Mhm.
remember right. It wasn't very good, but it was like
Mhm.
it was interesting that they were doing live action like weekly television with like the real suits.
They
But yeah, it
crossed
was
over
like
with the Power Rangers, didn't they?
Of
Yeah,
course they did.
yeah, I don't know.
They have
I
the
don't
same
know if
enemies.
I don't know if it was like Japanese footage that they were stealing, but
Well,
yeah.
probably if it's a Power Rangers. That was a moment in time that broke my heart when Anthony showed me that the Power Rangers I watched as a kid
Yeah.
was actually the Power Rangers from Japan in the 80s.
yes.
You know what?
It broke my heart.
Yeah, that was definitely a shock to me. But like Japan have kept that sort of genre going.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like give the turtles to Japan and get them to do
Jesus,
like an
that'll be interesting.
because
Yeah.
they do a lot of like there's this thing called Kamen Rider. He's like a bug man. But like they do quite like a good mix of like CGI like
Mhm.
effects and actual like martial arts and stuff. So it's like yeah, like maybe take some like Sentai sort of Super Sentai kind of leanings towards the fight scenes and
Yes.
stuff.
Interesting take though, because look what they've just done with Godzilla. They've
Yeah.
just basically reinvented Godzilla, and it's probably
I
the
can't wait to
movie
watch
of the
that, by
next
the way.
movie of the year last year, apparently. So very excited.
I think I need to apologise to Sarah Peach. I think I've lured her out by saying that Dark Crystal failed, but I think you guys corrected us by saying it was just
You
really
did,
expensive. So
No,
sorry, Sarah.
No, it did get
Oh.
cancelled. It did get cancelled. Netflix said they weren't going to do any more, just simply because of the costs. And that's, I think, with practical effects now, it's more expensive to do practical effects than it is to do CGI, which
Yeah.
is quite sad. But
It is really sad because the era of practical effects needs to come back. I'm sorry. I will always go practical than CGI.
it's all
in real sets as well, because you can definitely
Yes.
tell
Yeah.
like like it has a marketable like effect on the actual watching of the movie. Like it actually
Mhm.
it draws me in way more when I don't see when I can't tell it's like a green screen.
Definitely. And as we've done an episode only a few weeks ago about it, One Piece showed us the way.
Yeah, you can have CGI, but friggin' build some stuff. Like
Yeah.
That
Yes.
that freelance that I watched the other day, it's got bloopers at the end, and there's John Cena talking to somebody, and he's got a green screen behind him. But that scene in the film, it's just some trees, and it's like, could you not find some fucking trees anywhere?
yeah.
And as Lee said, can you get some fucking trees?
What
That-
accent did you pull out there? Was that a Scots one? Is that what happens when you get angry? You go
That-
all
that is the
crazy?
sound-
matey.
that is the soundbite now for this episode. Get some fucking trees.
Jake, didn't you bring something up in the group the other day about the whole Patrick Stewart having to act by himself, and that's kind of like
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
for multiverse of madness that
Yeah.
none of the sort of Illuminati were in the same room
that
together.
is so sad.
And I know that was during COVID, but I
Mhm.
don't think that stopped Marvel from doing that again. Like
Mhm.
having the actors like split up.
Mhm.
It's just weird because there's a whole different vibe you get from ensembles. I mean, look how much we love Always Sunny because they're all like
Yeah.
in each other's faces a lot of the time.
Literally.
Bless them.
Like quite literally.
And they do
Yeah.
swear, as we found out earlier in the
As we
episode.
found out today. We're gonna put that one to bed now. It never happened. I redacted it.
And yeah,
It's
those
done.
four turtle guys were in a room. They might not have been able to see each other like out of the suits, but they were.
I
they were-
wonder how they did look at each other because it's. I
With
just feel like there's a
shame,
lot going
with
on
shame
here.
and regret. That's what they
What
looked
am
at each
I?
other. What have I become? I did 10 years at acting school, martial arts for the rest of my life, to dress as a fucking turtle.
I noticed as well that you could sort of see how it was like a glove, like a two-fingered glove sort of thing, because they showed
hey,
they showed a
hey.
bit more hand close-ups.
Yeah. No
I just
glove,
think they
no
were really
love.
proud of them suits, and they just wanted to show them off
Yeah.
like as much as they possibly could, because there was a lot of things that changed from the first one that they thought they were getting right in the second one. And to be honest, I really like the first one better.
Yes, the first one.
suits.
The first one is a classic. The first one is better. But that leads me on to the ultimate question: what we do like to do for these reviews. What would you give this out of 5? So Lee,
4. 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's
I think this might be the first time I haven't given 5.
why do 4?
Just, there wasn't enough action. No, yeah, there wasn't enough action. I think is the main thing, which is everyone's complaints
and that's
about
what
this.
knocks your point off is the no action.
And
An action man.
Also, another thing that knocks a point off it is the fact that when I can't remember what he's called, but Baxter Stockman, when he's disposing of the canisters, he's done 1 through to 40, and 37's the last one. Why? Why? That messes with my OCD so much.
He likes
Damn it.
chaos and mutants.
Just wants to watch the world burn.
It's a lucky number 37. Lucky 37.
Yeah.
Jake, what would you give it out of 5?
I think I'm just gonna have to give it like 2.
Oh,
And it's like 1 star for Toka and 1 star for Razar.
You do like your monsters, or you do like your monsters.
Yeah, that's the problem with this movie. Like conceptually, it's very interesting to me. It's like, okay, Shredder comes back, rebuilds his army, makes his own mutants, also becomes a mutant. You know, on paper when you write it down, like it's intriguing, it's good, like it's interesting, but like it's like they somehow make it a bit boring, and they keep having to like drag people back to fights, and it's like, you can just write whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't
And
have
then
to
they bring
fake up
Vanilla Ice in it as well, so yeah.
Go ninja, go.
I made a funny.
Oh,
Oh,
Sammy.
another funny, does he say?
Yeah, I made another funny.
I loved having that instantly credits.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to end this now.
Credits. I'm gonna go 2.5. Which is quite a low score for me. I've been quite upbeat and happy and very much excited about all the movies we've been reviewing, but this one was just a bit wah, wah. And that's really probably because of my love for the first one.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't hold up against the first one for sure.
And I didn't feel like, I was excited about doing this. I really was. But I remember when we did the first one and I'd watched the movie just before we came on, and I was like, fuck, this was fucking, I need to talk about this now. I was okay to wait for a bit tonight.
But I was excited. I was really excited for you to see Turtles 2, because in my mind it was like a lot sillier and like more cartoonish and stuff. And I think I was in my head, I was prepared for a Gremlins 2. Like this wasn't on that level of like wackiness.
No, I love that sketch of Keen and Peele where they're sitting around the board table and they're just shouting out all these crazy ideas, and when you realize it's actually the plot of the movie. I love that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go 2.5. It fell a little bit flat for us. There was some really good moments, but it doesn't hold up to the first one.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, I get it. Probably, I'm going to go a little bit higher than Sammy and Jay. Probably say about a 3. That's probably down to nostalgia more than anything else. Just because I've got lots of happy memories of watching this movie, and if you talk about the first half of the movie, it's moving in a direction where you think getting quite excited, and it's the ending that lets it down, and it's kind of like they didn't know how to end it, and just going with the damn squid that was like, I know they said, acceptance. I'm not bothered about the turtles getting acceptance. The freaks, the mutants, they should be treated that way. And that,
kill them all, Paul says.
No, and
down with mutants.
And having them being accepted just by walking into a nightclub and doing some cool moves and fighting some monsters and spraying them with CO2 gas. And then we're your friends and your buddies. It was like, oh, you need to earn that more. You need to earn it.
Yeah. And
see, Turtles 3, that happens.
Okay.
They earn the respect and the love from actual people.
But we're reviewing Turtles 2, Lee. Damn it.
Not 3, Lee.
But yeah, like the running joke of like everyone fainting when they see Splinter, as if he's the most horrifying like member of
and not
the group.
4 giant turtles that are staring at them with their bandana. Oh, I can't think.
Giant teeth.
Giant teeth.
Giant teeth.
And the eyes in the mouths. Yeah. So yeah, that's my only gripe. Again, if they continued on, I think they could have like not surpassed the first one, but at least lived up to the legacy that the first one did give us. Because
I don't think that they knew what they had with the first one. I really
Mm.
don't. I think they just thought it was like, oh yeah, we've just done a Turtles movie. That's it. Like I don't think they realize like how good that film actually is.
And it has aged so well as well. These movies,
Yeah.
like a lot of these movies, like when you watch back, you think, oh, I am watching them through rose tinted glasses, but
Mhm.
that one holds up, and I will stand by that and say the Turtles one. If you show that to someone new or someone who hasn't experienced that, they will enjoy it, and they will get the themes, and they will get the tone of
It's
it.
like the perfect backstory movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get everything you need really to then go on
you get
and
a kung fu
enjoy.
rat.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But yes,
I really want us to do the third one though. I know we like our schedule is all like done up for a bit, but I do want to do the third one at some point.
no,
Like I love
we'll
talking about this genre of movie, like this kind of funny, nostalgic
I mean,
kind of feel to
I
it.
wonder what rap song is going to be in the third one, eh?
we're gonna do the Lee rap. We're gonna give Lee 30 seconds to make up a rap about the third one now.
If Vanilla Ice can do it, you can do it.
No, we really should one day have like one of our shows ends and then it just plays like the Nerdy Up North rap. You know, like how there was Adam's Family rap and stuff, and it just explains what Nerdy Up North is.
Oh, a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're talking about, making shit up. But yes,
Well, that's the
That is a
highest one.
challenge, people in the chat mind. Come
If
up with
anyone
some
can,
lyrics.
if anyone
Spit
can
some
rap
rhymes.
like the '90s movie rappers,
we'll get Graeme to do it. Graeme will do it. Graeme and Goodwill, them two, the
Northern
musical
Power.
theme.
Wait, that's a
Northern
bit
Power,
wrong.
yes.
Yes, oh god. But yes, so that was our little discussion on Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Not a long episode, let's be honest, it's not really a long movie.
Did we discover the secret? I don't remember.
No.
Was there a secret?
The secret was it was a mistake, as all of our parents told us when we were children. Yes.
I mean, that's true for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Lee's still
knows?
thinking, am I a mistake? What
My
went
sister
wrong?
was very much-
I'm definitely a mistake.
Yes.
Put this in the rap.
I'm not going to say it.
So what's happening tomorrow night, Sammy?
Oh, tomorrow night we're back. We're back. Monsters is back, and we are doing Dracula,
Oh,
and not just any Dracula. We're doing Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Thank you, Jake.
Gotta turn the lights down and
That's a
just do
good
the
pause.
eyes now.
That was really good. That.
yeah, the
Um,
Morticia eyes.
So yes, we are back doing Dracula. I can't stop saying it now. It's like when the whole jigsaw. I started doing that. I can't stop. So it's a really fun episode. It gets us back into the swing of things. I'm very poorly in it, so I apologize well in advance for.
That's the one Universal monster movie I've actually seen. It's on.
Oh.
It's in my Amazon purchases. I can watch it whenever I want in all of its bad audio glory with that hissing noise that's going all the way through
Yeah,
it.
there's reasons for that, and we do go
Yeah.
into it, but it is actually on YouTube as well. So
Oh, cool.
if you didn't want to pay
yeah.
for it, it's on YouTube.
Go for it.
Along with the majority of 30s and 40s films, which I
Yeah.
found out the other day when I was watching next week's movie, because
Oh,
that's
nice.
on there too.
Spoilers.
I'm not telling anyone what it is, but Monsters is back tomorrow at 7:00. We are also now on Instagram and TikTok as Monsters Up North. If you'd like to go and give us a follow, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
Cool. And Jake and Adam will be playing games afterwards. What he is playing?
Yeah.
Playing
or he's-
games.
We're for some reason, well, it's for Graeme really. Let's face it. We're digging into Warhammer this month. So we're gonna play Warhammer Dark Tide, which is a bit like Left 4 Dead meets Destiny sort of thing in the Warhammer 40k universe, which I know isn't Graeme's favorite part of the universe. So then next week, the week after that, Graeme's gonna come on the podcast and we're gonna like fire questions about Warhammer, like what is
That's
Warhammer?
amazing.
Why Warhammer?
Who Warhammer? That's
'Cause it-
amazing. That because it is such a big thing to like take to
Yeah.
unravel, and it'd be
But it's-
lovely to like to have like a starting point.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about it
Mm-mm.
apart from like random bits I've heard and stuff, and I know there's like like 3 different versions of the games that people play, and nobody likes them all. Everyone's got the favorite.
That'd be so interesting. I can't wait for that, Jake. I'm excited.
And Lee,
Yeah,
have
that's
you
the
got
15th, I think.
15th? And Lee, have you got something you want to promote because you've launched something this week as well?
Yeah, Gaming Up North now has an Instagram channel as well.
Yes.
So go and search for it and click that follow button or subscribe or whatever it is.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
a-
get
it's a
away
follow.
from us.
We're
On every-
everywhere.
We're taking over the
And-
internet.
And I'll probably continue Gears of War this week.
Ooh,
Just
Nice.
not sure when.
Excellent.
yes,
You got quite far in it from what I remember. Like you were flying through that game because like you already passed the
That's-
Berserker, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, I put about 5 years into my life of Gears of War, so
Yeah.
I know the secrets.
I love it when you tell us
Nice.
little spoilers. Oh, there's a cog. You don't really need to collect these, but you can. It gives you. It doesn't do anything. So,
Yeah, no, I like it that you're playing a game where you like know all the stuff already because like you've been playing like new stuff mostly, haven't you? Where you've got no idea what's happening next.
Yeah, it's better to play something that I'm familiar with because
Yeah.
if you're playing something new, you want to know what's actually happening.
Yeah, you
And
want to.
I've been
you
playing
can't pay
RoboCop
attention.
off stream,
Yeah.
and I'm enjoying that now because I can follow the story.
and you're not
Yeah.
and you're not being Leo Cop.
Yeah,
Robo Lee, was it? Sorry.
Robo Lee.
It all works.
Yes. I've just picked up Stray, so I might stream Stray when I get that
Yeah.
set up as well. So you might.
I haven't seen any of that game, but people loved it.
Yes, it's
Is
meant to
it
be a.
sad?
it's only meant to be a
Feels like
short
it
one.
should be sad.
Well, it'll be me playing as a kitty cat, so I'll be like, "Hi, I'm a cat."
Hey, kitty cats!
Kitty cat.
I actually had a kitty cat brawl just going on just behind us a second ago. Now they're just chilling out,
Cool.
but it possibly could outbreak again.
And next week is a very good episode of Nerdy Up North as well. I know Trekking is back on Friday as well. I'll give Goodwill his plug. Him and Graeme will be talking about an episode of the original series. I can't remember it now, so I do apologise, Goodwill. I did do the design work for it today. But next Sunday, we are talking about a movie that is very close to my heart. We are going to the sci-fi realm. Goodwill will be joining us. Sonia will be joining us. We are talking about Serenity, and we do have a very special guest as well. And I'll announce it now because Goodwill has confirmed it because I was panicking that he wasn't confirmed. We are getting Shuttlepod's Mark Cartier to join us as well to talk about the brown coats, Firefly, and Serenity. So
And
hope
that
you
sword pose.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, how long River's legs are. But yes, I
don't just picture that poster.
But yeah, I love this movie. So I love Firefly, to be fair. So I love everything else. I love Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion, if you want to come on my podcast, I will get on my knees and do unspeakable things for you.
Give you a
to
kiss
come
on the mouth.
I'll give you a kiss. I'll kiss you
On
anywhere
the
you want,
cheek.
Nathan.
And I have actually seen this movie a fair few times. It was in my wheelhouse of I watched you every day for 6 months kind of thing. So
Ah.
I know, shocker.
Mhm.
I'm shocked myself.
So,
Never
yes.
seen Firefly all the way through though.
Oh, Sammy, I thought you had a mad ball there. You can't get
No.
me all excited like that.
Sorry,
I was
it's
like,
Jack
Sammy's got
Skeleton's
mad
head.
balls. What?
Jack Skeleton's head.
Oh, Mad Balls. That's an 80s toy that was the best. It used to
Hell
be like
yeah.
balls that you could play with, but used to really hurt when you hit people with them.
I had the
Yeah.
one where it shot its eyeball out when you squeezed
Yeah.
it.
The American football
God.
one used to be quite interesting as well. It just looked a
Yeah,
bit like a
Stitch
shark.
face or something.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jake. It's Jack Skeleton's head.
I hate that guy.
God damn it.
But yes, so yes, we have a lot of things planned for this year, a lot of exciting things, and if you keep an eye on Goodwill, he is guest starring in a lot of different other Trek related podcasts as well. So keep an eye on his Twitter.
Mhm.
Watch Goodwill do anything we did. Please support Goodwill. He needs all the love. He's a very needy Goodwill.
Oh,
But yes,
he's hard at work, bless him.
and I will be guesting on a podcast coming February, which I'll let you know about later, which is going to be quite interesting. But yes, anyone else got anything you want to plug? Except from
Nope.
Lee's
That's
butt
it.
plugs.
there for him to know about and everyone else to find out.
Yes.
I'll be streaming that on a late night one.
A late night stream. But yes,
Late night with Lee.
late night with Lee. It writes itself. But yeah, same bat time, same bat channel, guys.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cowabunga.
Bye.
Bye. Made it funny.